Hello, Bud and Gloria. I'm Rob Bell, and as promised, I would do a cataract explanation of what I went through for my cataract surgery. Let me start off by saying that everyone is different. So the things that I experienced, you may not experience. The way your doctor may do things would be different than what mine was. I did a Google search and YouTube I watched hundreds of different videos on people's personal experiences and a lot of surgeons and doctors. So I went in with a good idea of what to expect. I took some of that stuff that I learned from the videos that I watched, and I asked my doctor when I had my meetings with him, and a lot of things matched up the way he did it, and so I was very happy that I took the time to actually watch a cataract procedure. There are some out there, and that in itself is a little bit different style of technique as how the surgeon, they're all a little bit different. I had cataract surgery in October of this year, 2024, and I had both eyes done, and the procedure itself, you have one cataract done, you have one eye done, and I had to wait for 2 weeks to have the second one done. And that's standard. What I found out, there are some people who do both eyes at the same time. My doctor does one, and then the other, gives the one eye a chance to get used to things and for the swelling and stuff to go down before he does the other one. And so, that being said, let me just start off, and I'm going to try to keep this brief, but sometimes, ask my wife, I can be pretty long-winded, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. Okay, there are three different. Let me just start off by telling you this. There are three different types of cataract lens replacements, I'll call them. When you get the cataract, and I'll explain what that is. If you don't, I'll just explain it in my terms. When they remove the cataract, they insert a new lens into your eyeball. And that was fascinating to me. And there are like three types of lenses that you can get. One's a standard lens, and one is a toric lens, and I can't remember what the other one is other than it's the lens that does it all, and it's the most expensive lens. Now, for me, I live in Oregon, and I know you're living in California, so Medicare, I'm on Medicare. Medicare pays for the standard lens. If you get either one of the other lenses, that's out of your own pocket. Here's the thing. I have very, very bad eyesight. I was a minus 7.5, I think is what it was, in my left eye, and 6.75 in my right eye. Really bad. My eyeglass lenses were thick. I had to have special high index lenses. I have a very bad astigmatism, and I also have problems with the prism in my eye. And that's where, when they do and when do they match up? Well, mine were really bad. And so they had to actually put a prism correctionness and astigmatism correctionness into my glass lens, or into my lens, not glass, but into my eyeglasses. And my eyes seem to be really strange. They fluctuate a lot. So the astigmatism in an hour from now may be different than what it is right now. And so I was fighting against some other things that a lot of people don't have problems with. I was still a candidate for cataract surgery because of the prism. And because of the astigmatism, my ophthalmologist thought that I would be a good candidate for cataract surgery. The cataracts were starting to grow. The cloudiness was starting to grow over my eye from each time I went to see her year to year, or 6 months to 6 months, because I actually went back more than once a year. but it wasn't progressing as much as a lot of people are. Now, I'm 68 years old, and so age-wise, yes, I'm a candidate for cataract surgery because of my age. However, my cataracts themselves were not drastically bad. But like I say, with the other complications with my eyes, they felt that I was a good candidate for cataract surgery to hopefully to correct a lot of that stuff in my eyes. Okay, so when I went to my optometrist or ophthalmologist, and she's a eye doctor, she had to refer me to the cataract surgeon. So the process for me was I went and saw the surgeon, and that was my consultation. At that point, he looked over my eye doctor's notes. He took a look at my eyes. They did a quick eye chart thing. What you read the first line, second line. He looked into my eyes, and then he agreed that I was a candidate for cataract surgery. And from there, he went, and I said, okay, yes, let's proceed. And because he says, I think that you would benefit from cataract surgery. From there, I went to another room, and they did some measurement testings of my eyes, and a couple of different machines, and they measure the depth and the width and the height and the pressure, all different kinds of stuff. And each machine did something different. How big your eyeball is, how big each part of it is, the shape of it. And so that was the measurement part. After that, they sent me home, and then I waited. And what they were doing in that time, they were contacting my insurance, making sure of what they would pay, what they wouldn't pay. And then they called me back. And at that point, I had another appointment with my surgeon, and that was the pre-op meeting with him. And at that point in time, he went into detail over the procedure with me, what they were going to do. And for me, they put me out. They gave me an IV, and it's one of those things where you go to sleep, but you're still awake, but you never remember. It's one of those things, which I'm glad they did that. He kind of went over the procedure of what would happen, what he was going to do, some of the things that I would see and afterwards or not see afterwards, and what to expect. And then we discussed lenses. Now here again, there are 3 different kinds of lenses. He said because of my astigmatism that I would not be a candidate for the standard lens. He said he could put the standard lens in, but it wasn't going to do a whole lot of good for me as far as a eyeglass prescription. Howbeit, keep this in mind. You kind of have to have a choice regardless of what kind of lens they put in, except for the really expensive premium one. You're going to have to wear eyeglasses after you have the cataracts removed. Okay? Ultimate is if your cataracts are too bad, if you wait too long, they cannot do cataract surgery. And so you need to catch it in that between time. Don't wait until it gets so long. And I know you mentioned on your video that it may be too late for the one eye, and I'm hoping not for your sake. So I wouldn't prolong it any longer than you have to. I have diabetes, and so they took that into account, but it didn't prevent me from having the cataract surgery. So you will have to wear glasses, and you will have to make a choice at the time of this post-op. For me, I did. And the pre-op, before surgery. And what that was, do you want to see without glasses up close and need glasses just for the distance? Or do you want to have eyeglasses to read with only and see okay in the distance? So you have to make that decision, because that matters as to which lens they put in your eye. Okay? Most people, from what my research was, they choose to have I'll wear glasses to read, and I'll take them off. Now, reading anywhere from, 1.5 feet and beyond, you don't need glasses. You can see fine without them. Anywhere from there, or 12 inches, 6 inches, yeah, you need them. You read the label on a medicine bottle. You need glasses. So I chose that myself. My brother had cataract surgery. He chose that. He was happy with what he chose. So I do still have glasses. These are my not permanent ones. These will change the lens, but I had glasses made because I couldn't see well enough without them, and it was really bugging me. And so my eye doctor went ahead and prescribed me a prescription for glasses. So I went ahead and had them made. I don't see the greatest with these, but like I said, my eyes kind of change day from day. I have another appointment. Now this is December 16th, and I have another eye doctor appointment in January 12th. That will be what she called our final cataract follow-up. And there she'll do another eye test. If there's been a prescription change from when these were done last month in November and in January, she'll make me a new prescription and I'll have a new pair of eyeglasses made. If there's no change, then I'm stuck with these. And these it takes a while. It can take instant. Some people come out of surgery and they go, wow. And then other people, it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 3 months, sometimes a year before their eyes really settle in. Now, the year's, I think, an extreme case. So my surgery was in October. This is December. It really hasn't been that long for someone who has really bad eyesight. My eyes are great. There's no swelling anymore, and they are getting adjusted to everything. And as you can see, I'm about a foot away from my camera right now, and I am seeing perfectly A-OK. But an hour from now, I may need my glasses. If I happen to look down at my phone, it's a different angle or whatever, my eyes may not adjust well. So, but that's just me. Okay, so I went in for the pre-op. They did all that. Then they send me home, and I wait for the insurance and stuff to go. I get a call from the surgery place, because it's different in my case. They have a surgery center where they go and they do these cataract surgeries, and I think they do some other surgeries there also, but just in and out stuff. And so that place called me and set up the time and the day. And then I waited. In the meantime, what I failed to tell you is when I went for my pre-op, I was also given some eye drops, a little bottle of eye drops. Now, they could have given me, there's 2 different kinds of eye drops in one bottle. They would have wrote me a prescription to take to my pharmacy, and it would have been for 2 separate bottles. And my insurance may have paid for it. I don't know. This was a charge out of my pocket to get 1 bottle with both of them in here. If you can swing it, go with the 1 bottle. And I say that because if you have the 2 separate ones, you're supposed to take, you have a chart, and you take so many drops one day of one, so many drops of the other one, and they're different. There's 1 drop in this eye, and then 2 drops, and so many times a day. It was so much easier for me just to get the 2 in 1. I just put in 1 drop or 2 drops when it said 2 drops, and my person gave me a chart, and so I got a chart for my left eye, and I got a chart for my right eye. And then I just X'd them out when I took them. I even wrote down the times because, it's 4 times a day. And then it goes down to 3 times a day. And it goes down to 2 times a day. Easier. And life is all about easier stuff. If you can do it, get this. Here, where this particular kind, where I'm at, cost me $50. And that was for 1 eye. When I went back for my second eye, I bought another bottle, $50. So, but for me, it was worth it to try not to have to remember. Now, keep in mind, not keep in mind, but one of the most important things I could probably tell you for success is that you take your eye drops when you're supposed to take them. And that's why I was very, very religious about writing down the time, spacing it out. I never missed an eye drop. Never, never, never. And my eyes healed faster that way. So, day of surgery. Went in for the surgery. You may have to fast, you may not fast, it all depends. Okay. They dilated my eye. They numbed it, they dilated my eye, and I waited. I had to wait for the eye to dilate so much before they could take me into surgery. They went ahead and poked the needles in me to get ready for the anesthesiologist. And when they came and got me then, they took me into the room. I laid down. They prepped my eye. They washed it really good and did that. And then they strapped my head down, which I didn't like, but they strapped my head down, and so I couldn't move my head, jerk my head around. The anesthesiologist started the IV. I could hear a little bit of what they were saying, and then I couldn't. I don't remember most of anything else until they came out. You will see different types of colors and shapes, things like that, and it's really weird. It's kind of I know, it's kind of like going back to the 70s, you know. I'm not a hippie guy, but from what I understand, you see a lot of psychedelic shapes and colors and stuff, but it's okay because you're relaxed and it doesn't bother you. So, procedure. What they do, and there are great videos, and if you're one that doesn't get bothered by watching operation surgery videos, I would highly suggest you do. It clears your mind of what they're doing so you can expect it. And you won't feel it, but it's nice. So I took the time and I did it. A couple different procedures. But basically, they all do this. They have to make a little incision into your eye. And sometimes they make 2 incisions, 2 different spots. And they put a little tool in there, and that tool vibrates, or they manually do it. And it goes underneath the outside of the eye. And the cornea, the whatever it is, the outside of the eye, and then you have the inside of the eye. And they stick this right under the outside part, and they start breaking up the cataract, which is a lens. It's a God-given lens. And they start breaking up into tiny little pieces by just vibrating. It breaks up. It's very fragile, and it all breaks up. And then they kind of suck it out like a vacuum cleaner. They suck all those pieces, and it's black. These little pieces are black. That's the cataract. That's how come you can't see very well. And they suck all that out. They get it nice and clean, all cleaned out. And then they have the lens, the replacement lens, and it's kind of folded up, and they insert it into that same slot, and then it kind of goes boing, and it goes into shape. And then they take their tool and they kind of shape it around the way that it needs to be shaped. And when they and this is according to their measurements and things, you see. So they do all these measurements, and that's part of the reason. And they shape it in there, and they put it in your eye, and then they bring you back. Well, first of all, for me, they put a cover, and I was going to bring it and show you what it is. Mine was a little plastic piece of a little cup, and they put it in there and they tape it across there. That's just to keep me from poking my eye, okay? And so they put that on to protect my eye, and they bring me back, and I stand up, and I go back to the room, and they come back, and they take the stuff out of me, and they ask me how I'm doing, and they wheel me out the door. And that's it. Procedure was only about 10 minutes. The actual procedure, 10, maybe 15 minutes tops, was the procedure. And it's incredible that they can do it that quickly. But there's not that much to do, and they're so professional. I think cataract surgery is probably the most common surgeries out of any surgeries that they have, and it has the best success rate. I come home, I leave that plastic over my eye until the afternoon, because I think 4 hours after surgery, I got to put an eye drop in. So I put my eye drop in, and then I can leave it off. Supposed to put it back on that first night to go, so when I sleep, I won't have a tendency to scratch my eye during sleepiness, okay? But I only had to do it for one night. Some people have to do it for more than that. Do what your doctor tells you. I immediately, when I took it off to put the eye drop in, I could see. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Things were so much brighter. So much brighter. I would cover this eye up and compare them. So much brighter. And the vision. I could not believe that I was seeing things clearly without having my glasses on. It was awesome. It really was awesome. So, those 2 weeks, for me, I got a little bit of anxiety from those 2 weeks because my eyes were so bad that I needed glasses. Now I've got this is my left eye. I hope this is right. Anyway, this is my left eye. Left eye was done. I didn't need glasses for that eye. Right eye was not done. I couldn't see it out of that right eye, anything in focus, because I needed my lenses for my glasses. Some people can take and have the lens popped out. I couldn't do that because of my astigmatism and that prism problem that I have. So that just, I saw two of everything like this. As soon as they popped that out, I saw two. And it's like, no. So they put it back in. So for me, I had a difficult time during that first 2 weeks before the second surgery. I would put my glasses on, I would cover up my left eye, and I could see things out of my right eye. And then sometimes I would cover up this eye, and I would take my glasses off and cover up my right eye so I could see clearly. I bought a black eye patch at one time. I ordered off of Amazon. I ordered these little lens covers, and it's like a patch for the eyeglasses. So I tried wearing that with my eye covered up. What would happen when I put my glasses on like this and I couldn't see? What happened was, if you've ever looked out of a window, a frosted window, like a bathroom window, they frost the bathroom windows. That's what it looked like through my left eye that had the surgery. It was light, but it was frosted. And I asked my doctor, it doesn't matter. And they said, no, do whatever is comfortable for you. You can cover it up, you can put your glasses on, and you're not going to be able to see through your lens, but go ahead. It's not going to hurt your eye. So if that's what you have to do, you have to do. I just had to take them on and off, cover it up, take it off. That to me was probably the worst part out of the whole thing. Some people don't have that problem like I did. Some people get along just fine. Some people go down to a dollar store and they buy themselves a pair of cheap reading glasses. And that's all they need is a very cheap dollar pair of reading glasses just to get by with reading things up close. Okay? So there again, people are different. This was my experience. Would I go through this and do it again? Absolutely. Okay, 2 weeks are up. My eye is fine. Oh, let me back up. The day after surgery, I went for a checkup to a guy who looked at my eye just to make sure everything was still good, and it was. And so that was my post-op appointment. Not my surgeon, but it was by a different ophthalmologist. It was a surgeon's ophthalmologist. Okay, and then I waited for those 2 weeks for my second surgery. I went back in, and my surgeon looked at my eye again, and he says, okay, we're ready for the second eye. You got any questions? Nope. Bought my little bottle of eye drops, went home, waited for the surgery place to call me. They called me, set up the time and the day, and then I did what I was supposed to do, eye drops, and you have to wash your eye a couple of days, the day before or something. They tell you all that. They give you all that information. Went in for the surgery. I knew what to expect, and went in. They did the surgery. I was out. I was home. Had the patch on. Took their little plastic patch off and put my eye drops in, and oh my goodness, how happy I was. I could see so well. Went to bed that night, put the patch on. The next day, took it off, and I was one happy kid. But I did have problems seeing far away, close up, but I couldn't wear my glasses anymore. At that point in time, the prescription glasses I had were garbage because I couldn't see out of them at all. So I just dealt with looking things not quite in focus. if I needed to read something that I couldn't close up, I would get a magnifying glass and hold it that way. Just improvised. And then about 2 or maybe 3 weeks after that second surgery is when I went in to see my ophthalmologist. She did an eye exam, and she says, yes, you could use a prescription. She wanted to wait because of my problem with my astigmatism and stuff. I said, no, I can't wait. I need something that's a little more stable than just that. So I've been making do since the end of November. Or the middle of November or something, whatever it was, November when I got these made. And I've been doing just fine with them. There's sometimes I need them, sometimes I don't need them. I drive without my glasses most of the time. Sometimes I may need to put them on. But I'll tell you what, it's awesome. It's just awesome. And I look forward to even seeing better than I do now, because as time goes on, your eyes adjust. They keep adjusting, and they will adjust. And then when I get my final pair of glasses, then I shouldn't have that problem anymore. Now, that is the cataract procedure, basically, in a nutshell. I would encourage you to have it done. And I think most people would encourage you. There are a few cases where it's made it worse for someone. And they evidently had some real medical problems, or they just had previous problems with a retina separation in their eye, or maybe their eye had been damaged earlier in life. And so I just I had bad eyes. And I did have a central retina vein occlusion in my left eye when I was in my 30s. I had a stroke. And instead of going to my brain, it went to my eye. The blood clot went to my eye and burst in my eye. That made my eye weak. However, all my veins grew back. So I did have some kind of it wasn't an injury, but I had a difficulty with my eye when I was younger. That didn't affect my cataract surgery. Gosh, I don't know what more I can say to you except go for it. And I think you will be amazed afterwards. And if you're one of the lucky ones that don't need to wear glasses anymore, hallelujah. That's great. Glasses can be a nuisance. Probably the hardest thing for me getting used to was getting into the shower, taking my glasses off when I didn't have them on. I'd step into the shower. I got to take my glasses. I could see so well. I thought I still wear my glasses. At night, when I got ready to go to bed, take my glasses off, put them on my nightstand, but I wasn't wearing them. So I'm pretty much over that now. But for the first few weeks, I thought, no, I don't have my glasses on. But those are good things. Those are good things to get used to. As far as cost goes, I don't know if it varies from state to state, or if it's something that's, the government, Social Security, so that'd be state, wouldn't it? State, federal. I had to have that toric lens because of my astigmatism. That's the lens that they put into your eye if you have astigmatism. Now, astigmatism, in case you don't know it, a normal eyeball is round like a marble. My eyeball is shaped like a football. It's kind of oval. And that's the astigmatism, was that oval part instead of being round, okay? There is a help for that if I absolutely have to. In about 4 months, 5 months from surgery, I can go to a laser clinic, and they will do LASIK surgery on my eyeball. And what they'll do is through a laser, they will laser off that cone, that end of the football, and they'll round it off. And I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know. That part, I just haven't decided yet. It's in the future. I'm going to see what the present holds for me and whether or not I want to do that in the future. If I can avoid it, I will. It is a part of the cataract surgery, so they don't charge me full price. The LASIK surgery would be $500 out of my pocket. So that's, money don't grow on trees, especially if you're in Social Security. So that's something I have to weigh whether or not it's worth that money, and to have that procedure done. My lenses, because I had to pay for them, because Medicare would not pay anything other than the standard lens. The standard lens would have been, don't get the surgery. Don't do the cataract surgery if I'm going to put in the standard lens. That's basically what I was told, because it's not going to help. It would take away the cataract, but I would still have the problem with having to have really thick glasses. So the toric lenses for me were $2,000 for each eye. Yeah, it was a shocker, because I was thinking Medicare was going to pay for the whole works, and ended up they just paid like for the surgery and stuff like that. They paid the surgeon and stuff. But as far as the lens goes, that's a separate charge, and Medicare won't pay for the toric lens or the other lenses. Anything above the standard lens, they're not going to pay for, which I think is a real sham. They ought to pay for all of it. And if they're going to pay for the one, pay for it all. Sometimes I don't know about our government health. Anyway, so it's $2,000 plus the $50 for the eye drops, so $2,050. I had a copay for my surgery, for the surgery place, whatever they call it, the medical center. My copay was lower than they said what most people's were. I paid a $250 copay, or deductible, whatever it was, copay. So that cost me out of my pocket. So $2,300, $2,300 per eye is what it cost me to have my cataract surgery done. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. To me, it was worth it. Even though I may still wear glasses, and I may end up wearing my glasses all day and night, never taking them off, because they'll make them progressive or transition, whatever they are, where they change, So the top part may not be anything but, just plastic, and the prescription part's in the bottom. To me, these are so much thinner. I wish I could show you my old lenses versus these. There's nothing to these, and they're so much lighter. And so just that alone, why not have great vision and have the brightness that I didn't? Colors are more vibrant, and that's something that a lot of people say, and it's absolutely true. Things are brighter, but not in a bad way. It's just wonderful to be able to see blue sky being blue and not a grayish blue. So there you go. I know there's probably some things that I was going to share with you that I didn't, but this is already a half-hour video, and so I'm going to go ahead and upload this to my YouTube channel and send you a link so that you can watch it at your convenience. All right? So go for it, Gloria. And Bud, if you need it done, do it, man. Do it. You will say, thank you, Rob, for the encouragement. I know you will. All right, guys. We will see you later. God bless. It's almost Christmas, so I know people that may watch this video in the future, they may go, well, it's almost Christmas, people. So I'm going to say Merry Christmas. All right. And Bud and Gloria, God bless you. And let me know what you decide to do, will you? And I will be praying for you that all goes well. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.